can we go again?
Yeah, have you got that new script there, Bernard?
Oh, yes, Prime Minister.
The Trident programme is too expensive. By cancelling it, we shall release billions of pounds to fund an imaginative and radical attack on the nation's problems. What this country needs is a
Can we hold it?
What was wrong?
No, it's very good, Prime Minister.
Prime Minister.
Just a minute, Bernard, yes?
Do you mind not leaning forward like that? It makes you look as though you're selling insurance. Trying to urge the customer to sign. And also, it makes you look up at the lens like a sort of suppliant. You should really be looking down from on high.
Yes, I see. What this country needs. What this country needs. What this country needs.
Malcolm and I have drafted a slightly different version to this speech.
Let's see. We shall, of course, be reviewing a wide range of options over the whole field of government expenditure. Bernard, this doesn't say anything.
Oh, thank you, Prime Minister.
Particularly lacking in impact.
Oh, you're too kind, Prime Minister.
No, Bernard. I don't like it.
All right, you could say urgently reviewing.
No.
Well, I do think it should be toned down a bit.
How? Any thoughts, Malcolm?
Well, what about the Trident programme is a heavy burn on your tax bill. £15 billion is a lot of money, and we should be looking at it very carefully to see if it merits the amount it costs.
Yes. Yes, all right. It's okay to mention figures, isn't it, Humphrey?
Yes, I mean, practically no one takes them in, and those who do don't believe them. But it makes people think you've got the facts at your fingertips. And don't forget, people don't know you're reading them off the teleprompter.
Apart from that, it was fine, wasn't it?
Yes, you were going a bit slowly.
Well, the teleprompter thing was going a bit slowly.
No. It follows your speed. Try going slow and then fast, OK?
Oh,
and cue.
The Trident programme is a heavy burden on your tax bill. £15 billion is a lot of money, and yes, I see what you mean.
Prime Minister, would you mind not saying your tax bill?
Oh, why not?
Well, it makes you sound as though you're not one of the people. You know, it's like the ruler talking to the ruled, them and us.
I see. Well, what should I say?
Our tax bill? I mean, you pay taxes too.
Yes. Change that, would you, Bernard?
Yes, Prime Minister, I still think it's very direct.
Oh, good. Thank you, Bernard.
No, I mean, lots of people's jobs in this country depend on Trident until there's been a consultation.
Yes, that's a thought. Malcolm?
Well, we could say defence expenditure is one of those areas which this government will be looking at closely to see if we can achieve the same level of defence at a lower cost.
That's too long. Can you make it 2 sentences?
Oh, why?
Well, Prime Minister, it's just that we find that if a sentence goes on over 3 lines, then by the time it gets to the end, most people have forgotten how it began, including the person speaking.
2 sentences, Malcolm.
And you are beginning to lean forward again a bit.
But that's what I do when I want to look sincere.
Yeah, but the trouble is, it makes you look like someone who wants to look sincere. If you lean back, you look relaxed and in control. That's it. Don't lean back quite as far as that. That looks as though you've had a liquid lunch. You can always underline bits of the script where you want to look sincere, and then you just frown and say them a bit more slowly.
Anything else?
Well, your face is a bit wooden.
Wooden?
Yeah, only when you're speaking. You see, in normal speech, you move your head and eyebrows and cheek muscles and so on. So don't let the teleprompter turn you into a zombie. OK? Thank you.
Defence expenditure is one of the areas which this government will be examining closely. It may be that we can achieve the same.
Prime Minister, that's just a little bit too.
What, that silly grand design? Bernard, that was precisely what you had to avoid. How did this come about? I shall need a very good explanation.
Well, he's very keen on it.
What's that got to do with it? Things don't happen just because prime ministers are very keen on them. Neville Chamberlain was very keen on peace.
Yes, he thinks it's a vote winner.
Ah, that's more serious. Sit down. What makes him think that?
Well, the party have had an opinion poll done. It seems all the voters are in favour of bringing back national service.
We'll have another opinion poll done showing the voters are against bringing back national service.
We can't be for it and
Oh,
against.
of course they can, Bernard. Have you ever been surveyed?
Yes, well, not me, actually, my house. Oh, I see what you mean.
Well, Bernard, you know what happens. A nice young lady comes up to you. Obviously, you want to create a good impression. You don't want to look a fool, do you?
No.
No, so she starts asking you some questions. Mr. Woolley, Are you worried about the number of young people without jobs?
Yes.
Are you worried about the rise in crime among teenagers?
Yes.
Do you think there's a lack of discipline in our comprehensive schools?
Yes.
Do you think young people welcome some authority and leadership in their lives?
Yes.
Do you think they respond to a challenge?
Yes.
Would you be in favour of reintroducing national service?
Yes. Oh, well, I suppose I might.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Of course you would, Bernard. After all you've told you can't say no to that. So, they don't mention the first 5 questions and they publish the last one.
Is that really what they do?
Well, not the reputable ones, no, but there aren't many of those. So, alternatively, the young lady can get the opposite result.
How?
Mr. Woolley, are you worried about the danger of war?
Yes.
Are you worried about the growth of armaments?
Yes.
Do you think there's a danger in giving young people guns and teaching them how to kill?
Yes.
Do you think it's wrong to force people to take up arms against their will?
Yes.
Would you oppose the reintroduction of national service?
Yes.
There you are, you see, Bernard. The perfect balanced sample. So, we just commissioned our own survey for the Ministry of Defence. See to it, Bernard.
Yes, but what about the broadcast?
When's he expecting to do it?
I don't know, sometime next month, I suppose.
Well, perhaps you'll tell him it'll be in 11 days' time.
11 days? That's a bit soon. Suppose he refuses.
Well, then you can tell him that we've just learned from the Joint Broadcasting Committee that the opposition will be holding a party political in 18 days' time, and he's entitled to get his ministerial in first. Of course, if he wishes the first political broadcast of his premiership to be given by the opposition, that's fine.
Is that true?
It will be. If you don't mention it till tomorrow.
But he could still announce his new policy.
I don't think so, Bernard. He'll have only one meeting with his cabinet colleagues in the Overseas Policy and Defence Committee to clear it.
I understand all his cabinet colleagues are in favour of it.
Yes, but only personally, Bernard, only politically. But are they in favour officially, as responsible departmental ministers?
Oh, I see. I suppose that will depend on the advice they get, will it?
Peter, thank you very much indeed. And thank you for your cigarette paper. Your paper on
Is this serious, Prime Minister?
What do you mean by that?
Well, it's always been the practice in the past to discourage anti-smoking speeches by ministers and not to print or distribute their speeches if they make them.
Well, I want Peter's speeches printed and distributed. I want everybody to know.
Yes, Prime Minister. Do you think you will win this one? The tobacco lobby is incredibly powerful.
Well, some you win, some you lose, Bernard. This one I shall definitely lose.
And why?
If you were the Treasury, which would you rather do without? £1.5 billion in tax cuts or £4 billion in lost tobacco tax revenue?
Well, the tax cuts, it's smaller.
Exactly. That's what I want, and that's what I shall get.
Oh, it's Sir Humphrey. Can he have a word?
Yes, of course.
Yes, come in, please.
Prime Minister.
Humphrey.
I was just wondering, did you have an interesting chat with Dr. Thorne?
Yes, he proposed the elimination of smoking.
By a campaign of mass hypnosis, perhaps.
By raising tobacco taxes sky high and simultaneously banning all advertising, including at point of sale. Don't you think his position is admirably moral?
Moral, perhaps, but extremely silly. No man in his right mind could possibly contemplate such a proposal.
I'm contemplating it.
Yes, of course, Prime Minister. Please, don't misunderstand me. It is quite right, of course, that you should contemplate all proposals that come from your government, but no sane man would ever support it.
I'm supporting it.
And quite right, too, Prime Minister. See, the only little problem is that the tax on tobacco is a major source of revenue for the government.
It's also a major source of death from killer diseases.
Yes, indeed, but no definite causative link has ever been proved, has it?
The statistics are
Statistics,
unarguable.
you can prove anything with statistics.
Even the truth. It says here, smoking-related diseases cost the NHS £165 million a year.
Yes, but we've been into that. It has been shown that if those extra 100,000 people had lived to a ripe old age, they would have cost us even more in pensions and social security than they did in medical treatment. So, financially speaking, it's unquestionably better that they continue to die at about the present rate.
When cholera killed 30,000 people in 1833, we got the Public Health Act. When smog killed 2,500 people in 1952, we got the Clean Air Act. A commercial drug kills half a dozen people and we get it withdrawn from sale. Cigarettes kill 100,000 people a year. And what do we get?
£4 billion a year. 25,000 jobs in the tobacco industry, a flourishing cigarette export business helping our balance of trade, 250,000 jobs related to tobacco, newsagents, packaging, transport.
These figures are just guesses.
No, they're they're facts.
I see. So your statistics are facts and my facts are merely statistics.
Prime Minister, I'm on your side. I'm merely giving you some of the arguments that you will encounter.
Thank you, Humphrey. I'm so glad to know that we shall have support such as yours.
But, Prime Minister, it will be pointed out that the tobacco companies are great sponsors of sport. Now, where would the BBC sports programmes be if cigarette companies couldn't sponsor the events that they telegraph?
Humphrey, we're talking about 100,000 deaths a year.
Yes, but cigarette taxes pay for a third of the cost of the National Health Service. We're saving many more lives than we otherwise could because of those smokers who voluntarily lay down their lives for their friends.
Well, Bernard.
Well, Prime Minister.
Very well, Bernard. Things are going very well indeed.
Oh, good.
I've got the Treasury on the run and the Chancellor.
Oh, is that good? When he's a member of your own government?
Of course it's good. You've got to learn to come to heel. You've got to learn to cooperate.
What do you mean, cooperate?
I mean obey my commands. That's what cooperate means when you're Prime Minister.
Prime Minister, why are these tax cuts in your interest? I know the Treasury hates giving money back, but it's your government too.
But it's simple. Cutting taxes by £1.5 billion is going to win us masses of votes. But my ministers are more interested in getting money for their own departments than in supporting me. So I'm using my support for Peter Thorne as a little leverage on the Treasury.
Your loyal support.
Precisely. In order to get their loyal support.
And after you get the tax cut, you will withdraw your loyal support from Peter Thorne.
Dear Bernard, how can you be so cynical? I shall simply rearrange my priorities.
Sir Humphrey's waiting to see you outside.
Send him in at once.
Yes, Prime Minister. Your word is my cooperation.
Humphrey,
Prime Minister.
everything all right?
Everything, I'm afraid, Prime Minister, is very far from all right.
Yeah, what's the trouble?
Your anti-smoking legislation.
What about it?
Well, notwithstanding the fact that your proposal could conceivably encompass certain concomitant benefits of a marginal peripheral relevance, there is a countervailing consideration of infinitely superior magnitude involving your personal complicity and corroborative malfeasance, with the consequence that the taint and stigma of your former associations and diversions could irredeemably and irretrievably invalidate your position and culminate in public revelations and recriminations of a profoundly embarrassing and ultimately indefensible character.
Perhaps I could have a précis of that.
There's nicotine on your hands.
What do you mean?
All the hospitality that we've enjoyed at BTG's expense. Champagne receptions, buffet lunches, the best seats at sporting and cultural events.
What's the problem?
The tobacco companies may release this embarrassing information to the press.
It's not embarrassing. I've had drinks at the Soviet embassy. That doesn't make me a Russian spy.
Well, no.
Let them do their worst. Anything else?
Well, Prime Minister, there is another vital point to bear in mind. A lot of people, eminent people, influential people, have argued that such legislation would be a blow against freedom of choice.
Rubbish. I'm not banning smoking itself. Does every tax rise represent a blow against freedom?
Well, depends how big the tax rise is.
That's fascinating. Does 20 pence represent a blow against freedom?
Prime Minister.
25 pence? 30 pence? 31. Is something a blow against freedom simply because it can seriously damage your wealth?
Prime Minister, I must warn you of the difficulties. I foresee all sorts of unforeseen problems.
Such as?
If I could foresee them, they wouldn't be unforeseen.
Bernard! Why did you allow Sir Humphrey to come in here when I explicitly told him not to?
Well, I couldn't stop him.
Why not?
He's bigger than me.
Well, it must be confined to the Cabinet Office.
How?
Lock the communicating door.
He has a key.
Take his key away from him.
Take his key away from
Take
him?
his key away from him.
You take his key away from him. Sorry, Prime Minister, but I don't think it's within my power.
I'm giving you the power, Bernard. I am authorizing you.
But I don't know whether I mean, crikey. He'll go completely potty.
After you, Bernard.
Yes, but,
Freedom, Bernard.
yes, but,
I am authorizing you, Bernard.
yes,
You alone, Bernard, will have access to the Prime Minister.
but,
But me no buts, Bernard. Shakespeare.
no, Prime Minister, but me no buts is circa 1820. Mrs. St. Lever used the phrase in 1708, but actually it was Scott's employment of it in the Antiquary in 1816 which made it fashionable.
Shall we keep to the point, please, Bernard?
Yes, Prime Minister. There's only one problem. If I'm to take his key away from him, what reason can I possibly give?
Sake, Bernard, find a reason.
Yes, Prime Minister. Thank you, Prime Minister.
Thank me no thankings, Bernard. Hacker.
Bernard? Yes. It's me. Look, I'm coming through to number 10. I'd like a word with the Prime Minister, please.
No, Sir Humphrey.
What did you say?
I said no, Sir Humphrey.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's better. For a moment, I thought you said no.
I did say no. The Prime Minister is busy.
Then I'll come and see you.
I'm busy too. What? Sir Humphrey, you may not come in. You do not have permission.
I'm coming anyway. You little runt.
He couldn't believe his ears.
What did he say?
He's coming anyway.
Are you feeling strong enough?
No, it's all right. He can't come in. I told security to take his key from his office. My God.
No, Bernard, it's just your boss.
I'm staggered.
I'm fairly surprised myself.
Well, how did you get through a solid door?
Where's my key gone?
You must have a spare.
Where's my key?
The Prime Minister told me to have it removed.
That's not correct.
Would you mind, dear Liz? Nothing to do with you. Thank you. The Prime Minister does not have it within his power to deprive me of my key.
It's his house.
It's a government building.
Well, I believe it's the Prime Minister's decision who comes into his house. After all, I don't give my mother-in-law the key to my house.
I am not the Prime Minister's mother-in-law, Bernard. Look, Bernard. Would you excuse us, dear lady?
Yes? Carry on.
Bernard, I don't want us to fall out over this. It's so petty of the Prime Minister. You and I are going to have to work together for some years yet, but Prime Ministers come and go. Whereas your career prospects depend upon those who have the power over promotions and appointments on a long-term basis.
I must insist you tell me how you came in.
Sorry?
You must have a personal key. Now, I insist you hand it over.
Well done, Bernard.
Hello, is that security? Change the locks on the door, connecting the Cabinet Office to this house, and then bring me all the keys. Yes, all the keys. At once!
Open this door! Open this door! You'll pay for this! Open the bloody door!
I'm sorry, sir. Do you have an appointment?
I'm Sir Humphrey Appleby.
I know that's Sir Humphrey. Do you have an appointment?
I'm the Cabinet Secretary.
Yes. Do you have an appointment?
I don't need an appointment. And I got a pass.
May I see it, please, sir?
Insist. All right now.
No, sir, that's a Cabinet Office pass, not a number 10 pass.
You know me, damn it.
There's a new top security instruction, I'm afraid, sir. No one, no matter how familiar, may enter without a number 10 pass. Unless they're on the daily list. Or unless Mr. Bernard Woolley gives permission. Would you like me to phone Mr. Woolley, sir?
Yes. No. Yes.
Was that a yes, sir? I have Sir Humphrey Appleby here, wishing to enter by the front door. Would you ask Mr. Woolley if he may be admitted? I'm sorry, Sir Humphrey, they can't find Mr. Woolley at the moment, and he left no word, so we can't let you in.
Oh, look, it's Humphrey.
Turn that noise off! It's all right, it's only Sir Humphrey.
It's all right. I'm perfectly safe. Sir Humphrey, to what do we owe this pleasure?
Prime Minister, I must protest in the strongest possible terms my profound opposition to a newly instituted practice which imposes severe and intolerable restrictions upon the ingress and egress of senior members of the hierarchy, and which will, in all probability, should the current deplorable innovation be perpetuated, precipitate a constriction of the channels of communication and culminate in a condition of organizational atrophy and administrative paralysis, which will render effectively impossible the coherent and coordinated discharge of the function of government within Her Majesty's United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
You mean you've lost your key?